Hi guys, my name is Brittany Reimer, and today I'm going to discuss the topic of technology with y'all. In beginning, I would like to have these two famous men share some words that they said. Albert Einstein said that, "I fear one day technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots." And Peter Drucker said that the new information technology, such as emails and the internet, have practically eliminated the physical costs of communications. With that being said, if you like numbers stuff, according to a recent Harrison poll from Harrison Interactive, they polled 500 people, and 2/3 of them, which is 65%, said that they agree that technology is abused, overused, relied upon too much. And another article from debate.org, which is on a continuous debate of their opinion is technology being abused or not, and 84% of those individuals also agreed that technology is being abused. So as you can, I chose to represent these numbers as a pie chart so you can see what large fraction of people agree that technology is abused. Technology, though, has without a doubt transformed this world. We are now capable of doing things that were once thought unattainable or unimaginable. Technology has aided so many aspects of society to better its living. However, though, over the last few years, a tendency of unhealthy overdependence on technology has aroused. Though technology has become such an intricate part of how we live our daily lives, it does indeed have negative effects on our individual lives as human beings. So I personally chose to talk about technology being too dependent upon because I am a firm believer that technology is over-abused. I do understand that technology has helped us in numerous ways, medically and being able to communicate more universally, and I know that's going to continue to help us in those areas, but it's also clear to see that in everyday life it's being abused and used in ways that it doesn't need to be, and it's caused us to be consumed with it. I also chose it because it affects each and every one of you. No matter where you work, how much you make, what you wear, what kind of house you live in, it's going to affect you. You see people driving a broke down Cadillac and living in the trailer park, but they got an Xbox, iPad, a cell phone. It goes to show that they're letting their wants outdo their needs. So throughout this speech, I will discuss the signs and symptoms of an abuser of technology and then the long-term effects that has on us. So I'm going to ask y'all, what would happen if your computer crashed, or if you weren't able to connect to Wi-Fi, or you lost your cell phone or broke? If thinking about that situation makes your heart race, you get a little nervous, you're not the only one, sadly, but most of us rely so much on technology these days that losing it, even for a moment, seems catastrophic. So what if you took that technology out of your life voluntarily? What would your day look like if you couldn't tweet, Instagram, Snapchat how your day's going? Or vice versa, how would you feel if you couldn't see what your friends are doing? Would you feel lost? Would you feel out of touch with the world? So with those thoughts and stuff in mind, one of the articles I found online has 7 signs that we are too dependent on technology. One of them is if the internet is down, work's done for the day. There's so many jobs and businesses that surround themselves with the necessity to have technology. If computer's down, well, let's go home for the day. Buyer's remorse is much more common. That's the second sign or symptom. It's easy to click a button, buy something, get shipped to you. Oh, I don't like it, I gotta send it back. So much more of that's happening nowadays. 3, you don't live in the moment. That means you're spending more time trying to record or take a picture of your baby's first steps than you are trying to just live in the present, and you're losing the sentimental value behind that. 4, you don't know a phone number. So this little image is replicating. This has to go into play with, say you get arrested and you got your one quarter, your one phone call, who are you gonna call? 5, you dread having to break up with a girlfriend or boyfriend in person. A lot of people are losing that face-to-face interaction with one another that is needed. 7, without your phone, you feel naked. That's what this little picture is representing. So many people feel like they have to have their phone to feel connected. And 1 in 4, people check their phone 30 to 40 times per hour. Think about that, that's a lot. Another article, it was 12 signs that the present generation kids are becoming over-dependent on technology. One of the first ones, signs or symptoms, is that the use of calculators for simple calculations. If we ask kids nowadays what's 700 times 421, they wouldn't be able to just do the long multiplication on pen and paper. They'd have to just whip out their calculator and let that do the work for them. 2, everyone uses ebooks. What happened to just cuddling up on a hammock or something and reading your book and just drifting away? That's why I feel like this picture represents it well. This librarian is telling this child that it's a library, honey, kind of an early version of the Amazon Kindle. I feel like soon one day a library is going to be a thing of the past, and kids aren't going to have that hands-on ability to read a book. 3, addiction to mobile phones. Pretty self-explanatory. Everyone's got one. No matter what kind, everyone has them. 4, there are too many simulations. This has to deal with there are some businesses and corporations that are now implementing business-related lessons for younger children in charter schools to have them start thinking broader and more business-like areas, and they're not really being able to be creative and thinking outside the box. 5, why do parks and playgrounds remain mostly empty? Nowadays we see playgrounds like this, where they should be full of kids. Instead, children are doing this, on their phones, playing games, tweeting each other, and whatnot. 7, inherent creativity is getting lost. Nowadays you ask a kid to draw a dragon and castle. Well, they'll probably just Google it so they know what to draw, as opposed to them thinking it of themselves. 8, the overpowering social media. Everyone knows that so-and-so has 47 followers on Instagram. They got 37 repins on Pinterest. It's just becoming so overwhelming. It's affecting athletes when they want to get drafted because so-and-so tweeted what they said 7 years ago, or whatever the case may be. Social media is becoming such a large part of how society works. 9, loneliness and depression. A lot of people get catfished online. They think they're dating Joey, but they're really dating Miranda, and it's just a catastrophe. Cyberbullying has now come about. Obviously, it didn't happen until internet, cyber. That's a big deal. 10, interference with regular lifestyle routines. This picture, this little boy right here should be fast asleep, but instead he's checking the social media, and that's going to affect him tomorrow and in his school when he's tired and groggy. 11, absent-mindedness and accidents. Driving down the road, you hear your phone go off, you're going to pick it up, look at it. Mine's not where it needs to be. 12, overdependence is a vicious cycle. I raise my children at age 2 to get on the iPad. When they grow older, they're going to teach their children that. It's just going to continue to generate generations who are overly dependent on technology. So now knowing the signs and symptoms of technology and the overdependence that people have on them, here are some articles that discuss the long-term effects of them. One article had 4 major negative effects. One being that technology changes the way children think, and accompanying that is it changes the way children feel, like their empathy for their friend who just fell, or having an attitude with their mother because they're losing that interaction that they should have with them. Technology can put privacy and safety at risk. As you hear how easily information is transferred between one device to another. And this is representing a sex offender on this, hovering over this woman. 82% of sex offenders get all of their known information from children or young adults unknowingly putting their information out on the internet. And more use of technology with less physical activity leads to obesity. Here you see these 2 kids playing PlayStation and watching TV and eating instead of being outside and exercising. Another article discussed that tech addiction is changing human behavior. A new kind of danger on the road. 1 in 4 accidents are because of some kind of technology interruption. Right here you see this lady checking her phone and she's about to run over those people. 2, the digital divide at home. back in the day, people sat at the dinner table, they enjoyed a meal, talked about their day. Nowadays, kids are in their room, parents in the living room, not getting that communication they need to have. 3, searching for the like button offline. This picture I feel like represents this very well. A lot of people generate these personas online that once they step out into the real world, they don't really know who they are. It can be negative in the sense that they don't know how to be themselves. 4, all things short and sweet. That's what this picture is representing. The attention span of people has begun to become shorter and discombobulated from the 1900s when it was books, plays, and journals, eventually being televisions and video games and emailing and social media, smartphones. We literally cannot generate wide span material because our mind has not been trained. 5 is argumenting. Okay. As with plagiarism and stealing. These 2 pictures down here at the bottom show college students, how easy it is to copy and paste material and portraying it as their own. With the availability of information online, it's easy to just take someone else's work and make it your own. So all this information shining light on this side of technology that not too many people look at, I do hope your eyes have grown to a new perspective. Like I said before, though technology has become such an intricate part of how the world works, it does indeed have negative long-term effects on our everyday lives. Knowing some of the signs and symptoms of being an abuser of technology is an important aspect of being able to eliminate those long-term effects. Overall, I wanted to inform you all on the signs and symptoms of technology dependence and the negative effects it has. Technology is important in our world, and it is going to continue to be important to our world and help us evolve. But just like everything, it needs to be in moderation. So as I come to the end of my speech, I'm going to leave you with some more wise words of Mr. Albert Einstein. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. And what I mean by that is that, people can easily access bank codes and steal. People can now easily access maps and layouts to the White House, and they can, get in and take over the country, or they can hijack a plane. Technology has its great aspects, but it also has its negativities as well.